If you're anything like me, the first name that pops into your head when you think of cuddly Star Wars characters is, of course, Jabba the Hutt. Which is why it's kind of confusing that we haven't had that many plushes or stuffed animals based on this character. In fact, if I was making this video just 5 years ago, it would have been extremely short, because there was just not that much out there. Luckily, that has changed a bit, so I thought I'd make a video talking just about Jabba plushes. The first one, what I would consider to be the first plush ever, is what you're looking at right now. This is an unlicensed plush, or pillow, it's often called. There's no date on it. There's no copyright information on it either. But I'm relatively sure that it dates from 1983, when Return of the Jedi came out. And I think it was probably, just guessing here, but probably a carnival toy, or, you know, a prize of some kind. It just doesn't have the look of something that you would buy in a store, but I could be wrong. This is quite a rare piece because it is, well, first of all, it was not made in very high quantity, I don't think, but it was also made of materials that did not stand the test of time very well and just disintegrated, essentially. This one I got from someone who was a collector for many, many years, had it in his collection, I think, from the beginning. It still has the tag on it, as you can see. But still, it is starting to fall apart. Right here, this is coming open. You can see the foam rubber that's inside, which is just starting to crumble away. And then this outer skin, which is some sort of a synthetic material, a fuzzy material, is also starting to sort of crumble away. So I keep this wrapped in plastic, normally. On the back, there is nothing. It's just a plain cloth. But I find the expression that they've chosen for his face to be rather amusing. He looks kind of depressed, which I guess is appropriate now that he's starting to fall apart. But yeah, very first Jabba plush. And in fact, aside from the vintage figure, which I have been using as a stand here, this would have been the only Jabba toy available for quite some time. In fact, if we want to find the next Jabba plush, we have to jump forward in history all the way to 1997, when George Lucas released his special editions of the film, inserting Jabba into A New Hope with the help of CGI. This is the Star Wars Buddies Jabba the Hutt. It was a line of several Star Wars characters that they made plushes out of. It's made of a kind of a leathery material, actually, more than a plush. And it's relatively small, as you can see. They've used plastic eyes, which is a common theme with Jabba toys for some reason, and they've also managed to recreate some of his wrinkles and stuff. It's not a bad effort, actually. They even did a little bit of a, I don't know if this is airbrushing or what, but they have a green color on some of him on his back. So when you get him, his tail is actually attached to his body thusly, but I've let him stretch out, as he should be. Now, this line also included a Salacious Crumb, which is gigantic compared to Jabba, but they're all about the same size, so I guess that can't be helped. And a Max Rebo, who has gone missing somewhere in my house, but I'll put up a picture of him right now. They're all okay. I mean, they're quite small as plushes go. Now, the next one is also missing. Apparently, he's gone off with Max Rebo. It is the Phantom Meanies, Slabba the Mutt, and Chihuahua Crud plushie. It is, it's basically a line of Phantom Menace parody plushes. This was essentially a dog with a Jabba-like tail and a little Chihuahua that was meant to be Salacious Crumb, but you know, if you just look at it, you would not be able to tell what it's supposed to be generally. I think you have to explain it to people, so it's not very effective as a parody. Next up, we have to go all the way to 2010. This was the Star Wars Scruffies Jabba by Comic Images. Now, this was sold at Star Wars Celebration 5 in 2010. And again, it's very small. Very small indeed. This was part of a line of other plushes. You know, Jabba always seems to get into a line of plushes. He doesn't have his own dedicated one. Anyway, in any case, these were sort of simplified plushes. very simple design, not much to it. It's cute enough, I guess. It's nice material, but again, not exactly the most impressive thing in the world. In 2014, Comic Images came out with something quite a bit larger, which is this medium-sized Jabba plush. He's got a lot of nice detail here. I guess these are sort of transfers of some kind on the back that shows his wrinkles. He's got not a very cute face, but an accurate-looking face. They got his tattoo on here, and it's pretty nice one, I would say. And in the same year, Underground Toys also put out what I would consider to be the best of the Jabba plushes so far. This one is the talking Jabba the Hutt plush. And it's made of a very soft and nice plush. It's a nice sort of hugging size. And it actually talks, as you can see if you press this sticker, which is removable, but I actually bought I like this one so much I bought another one that I gave to my kids that we've taken the tags and everything off of. But for this one, I've left it on. So you can see it just sort of cycles through all those lines, and that's the talking feature is the one thing I would consider to be the flaw in this, because they use basically the lines from the special edition of the movie A New Hope, and I just don't like them as well as the lines from Return of the Jedi or the voice from Return of the Jedi, but it's a minor thing. Now, interestingly enough, there is also a small version of this. A smaller version. And I'm not even sure if this is available in the United States. I see mostly in the UK this one listed on eBay and places like that. In fact, I got this one from the UK. He comes in this little tray. I've taken him out. You can see he's just tiny compared to the other one. It's really quite adorable. They've shortened his body quite a bit, and the head is also smaller. He talks, says the same things as the other one, though. Finally, I'm going to look at some things that are not actually plushes, but could easily be mistaken for plushes, especially this one that I have here. This, for all the world, looks exactly like a plush, but is in fact a dog toy made by Petco. And I think basically the only difference is that with a dog toy, they don't have to meet the same safety standards as if it was a plush, is my guess. But I don't know. No one would think this was a dog toy, I don't think, unless you told them. Now, this does have a squeaker, though. So, yeah. They also made this, which is more of a, I don't know, it's a little bit of an odd thing. It's got Jabba's face there and his body, and each one of these little squares is a squeaker. So if your dog likes squeakers, they're going to love this one. This also got a very large squeaker in the head. Yeah. So there we go. Believe it or not, this is not all that Petco has made for Jabba the Hutt. No, no, no. There's one more that just came out very recently, and that is, in fact, a chew toy. And I imagine you're supposed to maybe have the dog bite onto one or the other ends of this and sort of play tug of war with it. It does have a squeaker as well. So that's the unifying theme here, is squeakers. But I'm just amazed that they have such a large Star Wars line over at Petco that they can have 3 different Jabba the Hutt items, which is more plushes than existed in the entire world until very recently. This is the most recent item in the collection of plushes I have here. It is a Halloween greeter by Jemmy, and it's actually a part of a line of these Halloween greeters that are being sold at Walmart stores. They have quite a number of characters, including well, the usual suspects like Vader and Boba Fett and the droids, but also Jawa and Jabba, which I was pleasantly surprised to see. It says on his trick-or-treat bag, "Jedi mind tricks and treats won't work on me," which is obviously a reference to the line from Return of the Jedi where he says that Luke's mind trick won't work on him. If you were to use it as a toy with kids to play with, I don't think it would last that long. It feels kind of fragile. In fact, some of the ones I saw in the store, the stitching was already starting to come out. It's got on the bottom sort of a, I guess it's cardboard plate or, a piece of cardboard, and it's got a tube in the center just to help keep its shape, but that, is not great for play. It's really just meant to be a decoration. Now, you may notice a resemblance between this and the Underground Toys Jabba. I think it's quite a resemblance. I don't know if, they somehow came to an agreement with them to get this design, or if it's just heavily influenced, wink wink, by this Jabba. But it's very similar. The material is somewhat different, but the design very clear, very close indeed. It's pretty cute. I'll have to give it that. I have a number of other items I'd like to show you, but this video's already gotten rather long, so I think what I'm going to do is make a second video and show some of the plushes I have for other characters and also some handmade items. So keep an eye out for that, and thanks for watching.